Hello, everybody, and welcome to Atheist Sunday School, your one-stop shop for everything Atheist Sunday and School. A Milwaukee Atheist production.
Oh, I don't want you to add that in there. Don't do that.
Whatever.
That's terrible.
It is.
All right. Today we have our guest, Landon Noll, a real scientist.
Yeah.
Nothing like us.
Nothing like us.
Yep, not even little. And we had our first week of school. How was your first week back in school?
Oh, it kind of sucked. The university's trying to cheat me out of money. They're claiming I'm not a resident.
How did you do that?
Oh dear.
Apparently there's a specific ruling for residency for tuition purposes that doesn't apply to voting or health insurance or, employment or anything else.
Or where you live.
Or where I live.
Or have lived for the past whatever years.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares?
That's
But
weird.
being a Milwaukee atheist doesn't qualify you as being from Milwaukee?
No.
Apparently
No,
not.
apparently.
Apparently calling a channel after a city and then saying you're an atheist also doesn't qualify.
Well,
How about that 100-point show, guys?
how was your first week?
Oh, yeah, my first week, it was all right.
I guess we're not doing that.
No, we are doing that. But it was really interesting. So, in my, just classical mythology course, it's an intro course, so it's like 170 or something. And we were discussing, what is a myth? And because I have read lots of books about myths, the answer I gave, it went over the heads of a lot of the people in the class.
Fun.
Like everyone was saying, can't be proven, and they were saying stuff like it has a moral lesson, really basic stuff, right? And has a moral lesson, involves like gods or heroes, stuff like that. Has a villain.
It's a story.
Yeah, like really basic stuff. And the definitions I gave was like allegory or illusion about a people's history or their world, something like that. And then like some other definitions. So that was fun.
Yeah.
They just ended up
showed them who didn't
the
read
class.
things.
Yeah.
The class just
Ooh.
ended up using my definition anyways.
Lol.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Now you have to take over.
100-point
that's
show.
kind of what I'm going to do. But yeah, 100-point show. And
Yeah.
I actually have something pulled up for the 100-point show.
That's crazy.
Oh, wow. You have an actual thing?
Yeah, an actual question. What group?
I have an actual question too.
Oh.
What
Fuck.
group of lakes located in upstate New York are named after a part of the human anatomy?
Really?
Yeah, really.
Upstate
Man, that's
New
random,
York.
but I like it.
Lakes.
Lakes, yeah.
A group of lakes.
Group of lakes in upstate New York.
It's like the answer would be like the something lakes.
Something lakes.
Okay. The Kidney Lakes.
I'm sorry.
Shoot, I was gonna guess kidney lakes.
Oof.
I mean, and so it's specifically in upstate New York, like I know that there's the Adirondack
I'm just gonna say
mountains.
I'm just gonna say yeah, it's upstate New York because I don't know where exactly these are.
Dude, I don't know anything about upstate New York.
Me neither.
Why are you asking this?
This is the only thing I know about upstate New York.
I mean, I'm trying to think like there's the Upper Hudson stuff up there. There's Chesapeake Bay. I'm trying to think of. So it's named after.
Part of the human anatomy.
That's so much, so many things. Tibula's lake.
I mean, I'm like
Furiously Googling.
no, I'm trying to figure out what. I mean, because I think I know. If I'm going through lakes that I know of in that area, but
Okay.
I'm not an anatomist, so.
All right. Well, this has
Time's
been going
up.
on for much too long.
Yes.
Great Lakes.
Good try. That was my guess too, even though
Wow.
that's not exactly accurate. But it was the Finger Lakes.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Finger. Oh, okay.
Come on.
All right.
I
That's-
should have even
that's-
tried that. Oh, man.
All right,
Ruben.
You're right. I should remember that.
Landon actually has a question that he.
Yes. So for 100 points, the planet Jupiter, how many moons are known to orbit the planet Jupiter?
I'm going to say 4.
Wow.
I'm gonna say 6.
I'm going to say 38.
That's you're the closest. The
figured.
number currently stands at 79.
Oh, jeez.
You know, that number went up a lot.
That's ridiculous.
79, damn.
Who needs that many moons?
Apparently
Jupiter does. It's very insecure. But as I say, folks, this is the 100-point show. So
Yeah, so I guess it's your turn, Ruben.
All right, I got one. You might actually know this one. What's the name of the ship that Darwin sailed around in and wrote that book about?
Fuck. I don't know.
You, the pirate guy, you don't know what Darwin
wasn't a pirate, you fuck!
Oh, man.
He was basically a pirate.
I believe I know, and I believe the reason why I believe I know is that in Punta Arenas, Chile, there is a replica of this ship.
Oh.
I'm good. I don't know. I'm gonna say the Crowley. I know it's not the Crowley.
No, it's not the Crowley.
Okay. I knew it wasn't that.
Is it the James Brown?
No, it's not the James.
I tried.
Is it the Beagle?
It is the Beagle.
It's the Beagle. Oh, yeah, I knew that.
100 points.
Oh, hey, Ruben, your mic just died.
My mic died?
Yeah, just now.
What the?
See, folks,
I guess Ruben's mic died.
when you play this game, you have a possibility of getting 100
hey,
points.
look who's here! It's Pit Monk and Red Eye. Man, we got
Oh, wow.
we got some new people in here. People that don't usually
We're
show
done.
up.
We're good. Oh, did you turn this off?
All right.
Yours was
So while they deal with the mic
Oh,
stuff,
jeez.
today we are going through Judges chapters 4 through 8.
And we're not in the
and-
100-point show anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, we're not in the 100-point show anymore. So since we're back in school, I did not have time to look stuff up about this. So this is all going to be brand new to me. I don't know much about this.
But as I remember, the beginning talks about is about Deborah, and I think it's Sisera, and then there's stuff about we probably will get into Gideon. I think.
It's going to be a Deborah, Barak, Gideon, and I don't know who else.
So we're doing what today in the Bible? How many chapters?
We're doing 5 chapters.
4 through 8, yeah.
4
Yeah.
through 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we did 4 last time.
No.
No.
Oh,
We're
what do you
doing
know?
4 through
No.
8.
Chapters 4 through 8.
All right. I have the King James version of the Bible.
I have the English Standard Version.
I have the New American Standard Bible, Reference Edition.
Ooh.
Ooh, a reference edition. Shit.
Man, he one-upped us.
You'll have to send the citation. Okay. So, chapter 4 of Judges. And the children of the Lord again did evil in the sight of the Lord when Ehud was dead.
Tisk tisk.
And the Lord sold them into the hand of Jabin, king of Canaan, that reigned in Hazor, the captain of whose host was Sisera, which dwelt in Harosheth of the Gentiles. The Gentiles, this is the first time we have a reference to Gentiles.
Mine says Harosheth Hoy Hagoyim?
Hagoyim.
Yeah, Hagoyim.
Hagoyim.
Yeah,
Hagoyim.
So
because
the Goyim is Gentiles.
Yeah.
Okay.
foreigners.
and I know that because my grandparents consistently just shouted at people.
Yeah, they do?
Yeah.
Are they like legit Jewish supremacists?
Kinda, yeah. Like they're all Zionist as fuck.
Wow, that's amazing.
Dude, this is that's the shit I have to deal with on a fucking nearly daily basis. Is their nationalistic bullshit.
They must be so disappointed.
Oh my.
Yeah, they specifically told me they would be, they're like, you can marry anyone you want as long as she's Jewish. It's like, I really hope she's not Jewish. Sorry, I really hope she's not Jewish.
What?
Like, that's,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Like,
Wow, that's childish.
yeah,
Well,
they are childish.
I mean, didn't the Torah say you're not supposed to mix?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't mix the races according to Gerd.
Yeah, that's all bad.
Anyways, and the
back
children...
back to verse 3.
Yeah, and the children of Israel cried unto the Lord, for he had 900 chariots of iron, and 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Israel.
There's all those chariots of iron again. That seems to be like kryptonite to God or something.
Yeah. He loses his powers.
Seriously.
And Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, she judged Israel at that time. And she dwelt under the palm tree of Deborah, between Ramah and Bethel, in Mount Ephraim. And the children of Israel came up to her for judgment. So she's kind of like the oracle, right?
Well, no,
Like-
she's
Like within this society that they have set up, it's much like Socrates going to the oracle at Delphi to get messages from the gods.
I'm not.
Right?
I'm not sure it's like that.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Well, if people are like gathering together at this specific spot that she has, and they're asking her to profit for her,
well,
for them.
so I'm not sure it's quite like it, but we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. And she sent and called Barak, the son of Abinoam, out of Kadesh Naphtali, and said unto him, Hath not the Lord God of Israel commanded, saying, Go and draw toward Mount Tabor, and take with thee 10,000 men of the children of Naphtali and the children of Zebulun? And I will draw unto thee to the river Kishan Sisera, the captain of Jabin's army, with his chariots and his multitude, and I will deliver him into thine hand. And Barak said unto her, If thou wilt go with me, then I will go. But if thou wilt not go with me, then I will not go. And
Wait, so he's like doubting her and saying, okay, if you want us to do this, prove it by coming along.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, I will surely go with thee, notwithstanding the journey that thou takest shall not be for thine honor, for the Lord shall send Sisera into the hand of a woman. And Deborah arose and went with Barak to Kadesh. So Sisera is going to be sold into the hand of a woman. Whatever that means. It could mean a number of things, honestly. Okay. So
10.
I think you're at 10, right?
Yeah, I'm at
Verse 10. Verse 10.
Barak.
Yeah.
That's the president.
Thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, Pembong's right. This is
Yeah, this is-
obviously proof that Barak is Jewish.
Yeah. From he was born in Canaan, right?
Well, I know. I said Barak is Jewish. You just assumed to go with the other Barak.
Okay.
Check. They should check Barak's birth certificate to make sure that Barak.
He's not
is
from
Jewish.
ancient Canaan.
Classic misdirection.
That would be a very useful document. Probably the oldest one we have.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Verse
Barak
10.
called Zebulun and Naphtali to Kadesh, and he went up with 10,000 men on his feet, and Deborah went up with him. Now Heber the Kenite, which was of the children of Hobab, and the father-in-law of Moses, had severed himself from the Kenites, and pitched his tent into the plain of Zaanemim, which is by Kadesh. And they showed Sisera that Barak the son of Abinoam was gone up to Mount Tabor. And Sisera gathered together all his chariots, even 900 chariots of iron.
So hold on. So here we have 900 chariots of iron. Now this seems like a different, like they kind of skewed off. So they were talking about Deborah and Barak. Now they're talking about this dude. Actually, wait, hold on. No, they started talking about Heber, but now they're back to talking about Sisera and Barak.
Yeah, it seems like 11 is completely out of place.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, but and what is it? What is it about the iron chariot? I mean, why? I guess if chariots weren't made of iron, they'd be made of what? Wood or?
Well, actually, I was trying to look that up, and I couldn't find anything specific on when they started making chariots out of iron. Like, if we have any archaeological evidence for that, I have no idea. So I was trying to look it up because I was like, why was iron the thing that these specific chariots are made out of, and why is it important? Why can't God do anything about iron chariots?
I don't know. I don't know why God can't do anything about iron chariots, but I can give you an idea of maybe why it's important that they had iron chariots.
Ooh, great commentary from Chris.
All right. Well, I've been to a lot of museums, and the oldest chariot I've seen that's made of iron, classical iron, not modified, not steel, not not an amalgamation of other things, is really old Egyptian ones that were dug up at some site that are really old and rusty. And I think they were, 1000 BC? That's how old it was, the oldest. So they've been around for a long time, iron chariots.
I'm guessing. I was trying to figure out if iron chariots were around before the Iron Age.
I mean, because the spoke-wheeled chariots have been around since at least 700 BCE. So
Yeah.
Well, I don't fucking know enough about chariots, apparently.
So, I mean, they didn't even have spoked wheels made of iron. Consider that. They had to use some other way of getting it on there.
Are you trying to find out?
Iron is one of the 7 metals of alchemy.
Thanks.
Oh my god.
Gold, silver, mercury, copper, lead, iron, and tin.
What side are you
Symbol for
on?
iron is also used to represent the planet Mars in astrology.
None of this helps us.
Okay. You've
Well,
wasted...
Mars is a god of war, and
Oh, no.
its symbol is the symbol for iron in alchemy. So obviously, it's representative of the thing
Competing
that they use
war
to
gods, of
make their
course.
weapons and armaments, right? That would be the explanation.
Well, did you also notice that throughout the Bible, just a curiosity, that when they take metals, they never take anything made of iron?
No, they don't.
They always list a bunch of metals. Sometimes it's bronze or brass, and all
Yeah.
the valuable ones.
Yeah,
So
it wasn't iron before.
they've never. Yeah, iron is
Obviously, they're choosing. They're demonstrating that these are the metals that you should use
Yeah.
to make this, if you're going to make it,
Yeah.
right? So I guess it's vaguely useful.
I think Landon wanted to weigh in.
Oh yeah. I
mean-
you want to weigh in? What's up with iron?
Does Landon hear us?
Hello.
I say I'm trying to figure out. I mean, in the context here, are you? I mean, basically, I guess it's saying that maybe iron represents sort of that they have weapons that are more substantial, iron weapons rather than bronze weapons. Is that? I mean, could it be that it's not just the conveyance, but also the technology?
I think it means they have the edge in combat.
I mean, it seems to help them with stuff. But I just find it really curious looking back at this. So, it says that, back in verse 2, Jabin, king of Canaan, who reigned in Hazor, the Lord sold them, whatever. The commander of his army was Sisera. But they're really just repeating it. They're really just repeating the
Yes.
same thing.
Yeah.
That it was Sisera, and Sisera had 900 chariots of iron. Yeah.
Here they are again.
Yeah, there they are again. Well, okay, let's just continue. We don't know enough about chariots or iron, apparently.
Or Hebrew poetry.
Yeah.
Okay, so they showed Sisera that Barak the son of Abinoam was gone up to Mount Tabor, and Sisera gathered together all his chariots, 900 chariots of iron, and all the people that were with him from Harosheth the Gentiles unto the river of Kishon. And Deborah said unto Barak, Up! For this is the day in which the Lord hath delivered Sisera into thine hand. Is not the Lord gone out before thee? So Barak went down from Mount Tabor, and 10,000 men after him. Now, earlier, Deborah said that Sisera would be sold into the hand of a woman. And here, she says that Sisera has been delivered into Barak's hand. So, I mean, obviously the repetition is
The monotony.
for some purpose.
Okay, interesting.
Are they saying that it's the same situation?
I don't know.
No, I think it's maybe one's prophetic and one is reported on.
Right, but since the one that's reported on comes after the prophetic one, is it meant to imply that her prophecy came true?
I mean, that would be the way it goes, especially in pre-biblical narratives. But I don't know. Maybe we're missing some information.
Maybe. And the Lord discomfited Sisera and all his chariots and all his hosts with the edge of the sword before Barak, so that Sisera lighted down off his chariot and fled away with his feet. But Barak pursued after the chariots and after the host, unto Harosheth of the Gentiles, and all the host of Sisera fell upon the edge of the sword, and there was not a man left. Howbeit Sisera fled away on his feet to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber and the Kenite, for there was peace between Jabin, the king of Hazor, and the house of Heber the Kenite. And Jael went out to meet Sisera, and said unto him, Turn in, my lord, turn in to me, fear not. And when he had turned in unto her in the tent, she covered him with a mantle. And, I guess this is the part.
Yeah, this is the woman, yeah.
Yeah. And he said unto her, Give me, I pray thee, a little water to drink, for I am thirsty. And she opened a bottle of milk, and gave him drink, and covered him. Again he said to her, Stand in the door of the tent, and it shall be, when any man doth come and inquire of thee, and say, Is there any man here, that thou shalt say, No. He was like, All right, don't tell anyone I'm here. Then Jael, Heber's wife, took a nail of the tent, and took a hammer in her hand. Okay, so they're bringing up Heber's wife, and
Yeah,
Heber
Heber's the guy.
It was from verse 11.
Yeah.
Obviously, verse 11 should take place after verse 16.
Yeah. I don't know why it's like this.
Yeah.
Like, at all.
Then Jael, Heber's wife, took a nail of the tent, and took a hammer in her hand, and went softly unto him, and smote the nail into his temples, and fastened it to the ground. For he was asleep and weary, so he died. And behold!
Behold!
Get your Behold t-shirts on Teespring.
If you want the
right
shirt
here.
that Landon's wearing,
That
Behold.
shirt right there.
it's on Teespring.
Behold it. That's brutal, man. And
He's dead. He's really dead.
as Barak pursued Sisera, Jael came out to meet him, and said unto him, Come, and I will show thee the man whom thou seekest. And when he came into her tent, behold!
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 Sisera lay dead, and the nail was in his temples. So God subdued on that day Jabin, the king of Canaan, before the children of Israel, and the hand of the children of Israel prospered, and prevailed against Jabin, the king of Canaan, until they had destroyed Jabin, the king of Canaan. And that's the end of chapter 4.
Wow.
So this is interesting.
What a way to go! Have that.
That's a good murder right there.
So I think there are definitely multiple authors because, as you pointed out, there's different beginnings of the story.
But couldn't it have been that what they were saying is, here is this prophecy that this related to this judge, and then here's how it came about, so therefore it was fulfilled.
I mean, that's kind of the purpose of having it put together in such a way.
It's interesting because normally you wouldn't hear about priestesses, right? I think this is the first time we have a female who's, besides Eve, who's capable of communicating with God in any way.
Although it doesn't actually show her as communicating with God.
No, she just references things that are written in holy text.
And it's just...
is she the first person other than some other guys?
Actually, I don't even think she referenced...
Does she reference a holy text that we have access to again?
She says that...
or not?
She says early in the thing, hath not the Lord God of Israel commanded, saying, go and draw toward Mount Tabor?
No, she's not referencing a specific thing. She's just saying...
Yeah, usually when... Okay, so it's really weird because...
well, earlier they define a prophet.
This makes sense because since this was before...
there is Miriam, but earlier they define a prophet as someone who makes predictions, and if their predictions come true, then they're from God. Right? That was what was established earlier on.
Yeah, and if they don't, then you can kill them.
Yeah. So she...
Yeah, with the whole Joseph thing.
Definitely predicts the future.
Sure.
Which makes her a prophet. But nobody ever brings up... What's even Deborah? Right?
Yeah.
Nobody ever brings up Deborah. She's probably the first major prophetess in the Judeo-Christian lineage, right? Besides Miriam, but
there really wasn't. The only thing I remember about Miriam is like the one where the story where her skin turns white, and the one where Miriam and Aaron oppose Moses.
Mm.
Yeah, but anyways. But I just find it interesting that nobody ever talks about this murder.
No, nobody ever
I remember hearing having a Bible lesson about tent peg stuff. I'm not sure what the Bible lesson was about, but it was one of those Sunday school things where we studied this thing.
Just like this one.
I think part of it also is the fact that how I remember now. It was like how. People who are godly will follow God's commandments and will do things according to the Lord.
Hooray!
Hooray! Yes.
All right. Well.
All right. So we're on to chapter 5 now. If you're enjoying the stream so far, give us a like and share us around friends, family, ex-girlfriends, ex-wives, estranged children, homeless people off the street.
And if you believe...
you go to the Apple Store, actually. Go to the Apple Store. Put up our videos on all of the computers.
That'll get us popular.
And just leave it up.
That's good marketing.
That's the best marketing.
Yeah, that's good marketing.
If you think you can communicate with your pets, please tell them about us. Thank you.
Yeah. And someone was asking about the picture behind you.
Oh, no, it looks like... I see them asking about what's the picture in the Bible means yours.
Oh, this one, it's
a bunch of stuff.
Moses before the burning bush. It's just a whole bunch of paintings are
in one spot
here, and this edition.
Yeah, they're all over
Oh.
in that edition, but they're chunked into like 4 major sections. You can kind of see the division in the book itself is where
Oh yeah,
those
yeah.
pictures are.
It's pretty clear.
Yeah,
It's pretty
there's
clear.
like basically one between the Torah and the rest of the Old Testament, one at basically the end of the Old Testament, and then one in the New Testament.
Yeah. So all right, let's continue here. Chapter 5.
Who wants to read it? Oh, I bet it's you.
I'm gonna read.
Okay.
Yeah, and this one seems to be a song, but I am not going to sing it for you.
Aw.
So you all can go fuck yourselves.
I really wanted you to sing it.
Then sang Deborah and Barak, the son of Abinoam, or whatever, on that day, that the leaders took the lead in Israel, that the people offered themselves willingly, bless the Lord. Hear, O kings, give ear, O princes, to the Lord I will sing. I will make melody to the Lord, the God of Israel. So the first 2 verses in this song are how you're going to make a song.
So we're gonna make
How
a
you're
song.
gonna sing.
This is how we're gonna
So, like,
sing.
Sing a little
Okay.
song. It won't take very long. La 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 la. Praise the Lord.
Stop.
Yeah, that's not as bad as mine.
Lord, when you went out from Seir, when you marched from the region of Edom, the earth trembled and the heavens dropped. Yes, the clouds dropped water. The mountains quaked before the Lord. Even Sinai
rained.
before the Lord, the God of Israel. So here's something that's really interesting. I totally forgot this was in this chapter. But verse 4 here, Lord, when you went out from Seir, when you marched from the region of Edom. So Seir is in Edom. It's in the southern region. So this there are lots of hints about this god initially coming from the southern region. In Thomas Romer's The Invention of God, he makes, he uses this as, a piece of evidence for the god originally coming from the south. Obviously, he takes from many verses and he kind of like puts all this stuff together. But this is one of the things that he included. How the book contains like hints of where this god initially came from.
And is the reference even the clouds drip water? Is that because this is like a dry desert area and that's like supposed to be amazing, or it said, "Oh, and it rained" in a poetic sense?
I don't know, maybe both. In the days of Shamgar, son of Anath, in the days of Jael, the highways were abandoned, and travelers kept to the byways. The villagers ceased in Israel. They ceased to be until I arose. I, Deborah, arose as a mother in Israel. When new gods were chosen, then war was in the gates. And this is obviously a reference to how the Yahweh alone movement kind of came to be. Was shield or spear to be seen among 40,000 in Israel?
This is apparently what this song sounds like.
Why?
No one can hear that.
Why are you doing this?
Apparently,
So you
that's-
can hear what interpretation
It's a
of this song is
song.
like.
Someone said to chant it in Hebrew in the thing,
Oh, okay.
and I wanted to see what it sounds like.
Gotcha.
That was perfectly legal under fair use.
purposes of criticism, commentary, or parody.
Yeah. So you mentioned the Yahweh alone movement. You should probably reference a little bit of what you mean by that.
So in ancient Israel, they worshipped a bunch of different gods, and then when they started getting taken over, they started losing wars, stuff like that. They were like, okay, let's just worship this one God. Let's just worship Yahweh. And at that point in time, they still believed in the other gods. They just thought that Yahweh was the only one to be worshipped, so it became henotheistic. And that's probably what this is referencing to. They went from other gods to this one, this slow transition. But then eventually it did become monotheistic.
And if you want to listen to the song, it's called The Song of Deborah and Barak.
Yeah.
Boy, does that sound dumb.
It's at the top 40s of the old.
That's a good list.
If only Barack Obama married a lady named Deborah.
Ooh.
That would have been so fun for the Doomsday Prophets.
Oh,
did
yeah.
you hear about the red heifer?
Man.
No.
Red heifer was born,
Okay.
signaling the end of days.
Did that happen a while ago,
Someone
actually?
modified that.
I think I may have
No.
heard that.
No.
How would you know?
Apparently, some people in Israel are looking into it.
Looking into it. Let's
Looking-
see if this fiction book has it all.
Yeah.
Let's go on here. My heart goes out to the commanders of Israel, who offered themselves willingly among the people. Bless the Lord. Tell of it, you who ride on white donkeys, you who sit on rich carpets, and who walk by the way, to the sound of musicians at the watering places. There they repeat the righteous triumphs of the Lord, the righteous triumphs of his villagers in Israel. Then down to the gates marched the people of the Lord. Awake, awake, Deborah. Awake, awake, break out in a song.
I'm already up.
Like,
I'm not singing. Jeez.
Like a fucking musical.
Yes.
Arise, Barak. Lead away your captives, O son of Abinoam. So this is Deborah singing about what the Lord commanded?
Yes.
That's weird. Okay.
Everyone's favorite song when they tune into those Christian radio stations.
Greatest song in the Bible.
I'm just imagining, like, alright, this might be a crude example.
Oh,
but,
great.
Like, imagine someone who's been, like, really strung out on acid for a really long time, and they're a total acid casualty, total space cadet. And they're like, I talked to God, and I'm going to sing a song about it.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, that's the delusional man sings a song about it. That does sound
Then
fun.
down marched the remnant of the noble, and the people of the Lord marched down for me against the mighty. From Ephraim, their route, they marched down into the valley, following you, Benjamin, with your kinsmen. From Machir marched down the commanders, and from Zebulun those who bear the lieutenant's staff. The lieutenant's staff. Interesting. The princes of Issachar came with Deborah, and Issachar, faithful to Barak. Into the valley they rushed at his heels. You know, I really feel like a song for this isn't necessary. Like, it's...
I get the feeling that it doesn't translate well into English.
It probably doesn't.
I bet it
but-
would look good as an interpretive dance.
Like, you know how songs work? Like, people don't even sing things in, like, a grammatically correct way. How can you possibly... And there's, like, constant alliteration, and, like, they're almost never direct with what they're saying when they're singing something.
Yeah, well, Shakespeare didn't age well.
So,
Anyways, and Issachar, faithful to Barak, into the valley they rushed at his heels among the clans of Reuben. They were great searchings of heart. Why did you sit still among the sheepfolds to hear the whistling of the flocks? Among the clans of Reuben there were great searchings of heart. Gilead stayed beyond the Jordan, and Dan, why did he stay with the ships? Asher sat still at the coast of the sea, staying by his landings. Zebulun is a people who risked their lives to the death. That's just an interesting formation.
wait.
They risked their lives to the death.
Yeah, like,
So,
as opposed to
gathering-
what?
They're talking about a period of time between, obviously, the last book and what's happening right now, right? They're
yeah.
implying that a lot of time has passed. So the
Naphtali too,
yeah,
on the heights of the field.
right. Dan
she's back.
here is in ships. So that means that the tribe of Dan
Was on the coast.
went overseas.
Or yeah. Okay.
All right. So is that like the Christian or Jewish apologetic explanation of why people were? Is Mormonism right? are the Native Americans the lost tribe of Israel?
Yes.
Oh my.
I'm gonna go with yes. The kings came, they fought, then fought the kings of Canaan at Tanakh by the waters of Megiddo. They got no spoils of silver. From heaven the stars fought. What? From heaven the stars fought. From their courses they fought against Sisera. So the stars fought against Sisera. Okay.
What verse exactly?
In 20. The torrent Kishon swept them away. The ancient torrent, the torrent Kishon. March on, my soul, with might.
Okay, well, mine says 19. The kings came and fought.
Yes.
Then fought the kings of Canaan and Tanakh by the waters of Megiddo. They took no gain of money. They fought.
Well, mine says took no plunder and silver.
Yeah, mine also says no silver.
So they fought from heaven. The stars in their courses fought against Sisera. So obviously they can't fight from heaven.
This is a divine thing. Like it's
Is it, or are they saying that they used projectile weaponry? Like, because honestly, if you see like a whole volley of arrows coming at you from the sky,
this is from the winning team's perspective.
Yeah.
So I don't think you would say that in a case like that. They would just tell you what they did.
They just got effed up by meteors. They're just fucked.
But dude, literal people who believe in the literal interpretation of the Bible believe that stars basically chuck stuff down.
I mean, I don't think so. I really do think this is probably
they think
poetic.
shooting stars are what stars are made of.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Where the fuck was I? Then loud beat the horse's hooves. That's a weird sentence. With the galloping of his steeds. Curse
the galloping.
The galloping.
Galloping.
Curse Meroz, says the angel of the Lord. Curse its inhabitants thoroughly, because they did not come to help. Because they did not come to the help of the Lord, against the mighty. Most blessed of women be Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite, of tent-dwelling women most blessed. He asked for water, and she gave him milk. She brought him curds in a noble's bowl. She sent her hand to the tent peg, and her right hand to the workman's mallet. She struck Sisera. She crushed his head. She shattered and pierced his temple. Between her feet he sank. He fell. He lay still. Between her feet he sank. He fell where he sank.
What a great
there
song.
He fell, dead.
Mine says, at her feet he bowed, he fell. He lay down. At her feet he bowed, he fell. Where he bowed, there he fell down dead.
I love this.
Yeah, mine says, but between her feet he bowed, he fell, he lay. Between her feet he bowed, he fell. Where he bowed, there he fell dead.
None of these are fantastic, but they're all fantastic.
That probably reads much better in the Hebrew, so.
Probably much better in the Hebrew.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure all that rhymes somewhere.
Or at least
there he fell
sounds
dead until he died and fell down dead.
where he died. Out of the window she peered. The mother of Sisera wailed through the lattice. Why is his chariot so long in coming? Why tarry the hoofbeats of his chariots? Her wisest princesses answer. Indeed, she answers herself. Have they not found and divided the spoil? A womb or two for every man. Wait, what? A womb
Mine
or
says
two?
to every man a damsel or two.
That makes more sense.
Still makes
Still
sense.
weird. Like, it makes sense both ways. This is just a weird way to put it. spoil of dyed materials for Sisera, spoil of dyed materials embroidered, 2 pieces of dyed work embroidered for the neck as spoil, with a question mark. So may all your enemies perish, O Lord, but your friends be like the sun as he rises in his might. And the land had rest for 40 years. Okay. That was confusing.
Obviously, it's like a song of praise about the events of the previous chapter.
Yeah.
You done?
And then, yes, we're done with that chapter. And it also seemed like they're treating the sun as a separate entity.
Yeah, the sun is not the stars. The sun is not a star in this cosmology.
Of course.
At all.
No, it's
Or in this in this allegory, if you allow the Bible to contain things that are not literally true.
Right. They also leave out the part where the sun sets.
But the part rising is the important part.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The sun is also...
But it also mentions something that we didn't see.
What's that now?
Wait, does yours refer to the sun as male?
Yes.
Mine refers to the sun as male.
Yeah.
So the sun
Is a
Yes.
male
Male.
entity, apparently.
So the sun as a male entity is presumably some other deity?
Something like that. I mean, rises in his might.
I mean, it's common in literature to refer to the sun in the masculine and the moon in the feminine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, is that because
that's not-
this, or is this a result of that?
I think it's a result of that because even in ancient Egypt, they were referring to the moon as feminine. Actually, no, they were initially referring to it as feminine, I think, and then it became male later when Thoth became associated with it.
Okay, so in Spanish, moon is feminine,
Okay.
Luna.
and sol, right? That's the sun, I think. That's masculine.
Okay, so I
Correct
mean,
me
yeah,
if
it's
I'm wrong.
All right.
just a regular thing, I guess.
What's that, Landon?
Yeah, so I say if you enjoy this so far, give it a thumbs up.
All
Yeah,
right.
definitely.
Yeah.
Drop a like if you guys are enjoying this. And I know that song was
Bad.
bad and boring, but hashtag blame the Bible.
Not every act at the talent show is going to be perfect. Maybe they gave her a participation trophy.
Yeah, maybe.
So permit me to read the next chapter.
All right, you can start us off with chapter 6.
All right. Chapter 6. Then the sons of Israel did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. Again. And the Lord gave them in the hands of Midian 7 years.
I wonder if this is going to be like a continual theme. Like that each story section starts off with, and then they did evil in the sight of the Lord.
That's why they need a new judge
Yeah.
every single time.
Yeah, for that. But even it wasn't it in the Torah that Moses even predicted you're going to people will come and lead you and then you'll go astray again and again and again.
Yeah, that's
Wasn't
kind of why they
prophesied?
had to include all those things about killing the infidels to kind of drive the point. Like, don't do the shit that they do or you'll be destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, so understand that 40 years have passed between the tent peg incident and this thing. So,
Yeah.
And the Lord gave them in the hands of Midian 7 years. And the power of Midian prevailed against Israel because Midian and the sons of Israel made for themselves dens which were in the mountains and the caves and the strongholds. For it was when Israel had sown, the Midianites would come up with the Amalekites and the sons of the east and go against them. So they would camp against them and destroy the produce of the earth as far as Gaza and leave no substance in Israel, as well as no sheep, ox, or donkey.
they destroyed the infrastructure.
Yeah.
It's an effective way to beat someone.
And without
Yeah,
without
it is.
that without produce or sheep, ox, or donkey, for they would come up with their livestock and their tents, and they would come in like locusts for number. Both they and their camels were innumerable, and they came into the land to devastate it. So Israel was brought very low because Midian and the sons of Israel cried to the Lord. Now it came about when the sons of Israel cried to the Lord on the account of Midian that the Lord sent a prophet to the sons of Israel. And he said to them, "Thus says the Lord God of Israel, it was I who brought you up from Egypt and brought you out of the house of slavery. And it was I who delivered you from the hands of the Egyptians and from the hands of your oppressors, dispossessed them before you and gave you their land. And I said unto you, I am the Lord your God. You shall fear the gods. You shall not fear the gods of the Amorites in the land where you live, but you have not obeyed me."
So it's really interesting here because this is an acknowledgement that these other gods do exist,
Yeah.
but you shouldn't fear them because the God you're supposed to be worshiping, me, I'm stronger than them.
Yeah.
Because you're a god of war.
Yes.
Because this guy's a god of war, and he's got nothing to worry about. He's the best tactician around. You know, when he had Joshua run away, that was funny.
You guys heard of the game God of War, right?
Yes.
Do you know what Kratos does in that?
No.
Oh, he kills all of the other gods.
Well, that is a thing
You should
Yahweh
have
would
feared
do.
him. He's the God of War.
That's what God would do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, verse 11, and this is on chapter 6. Then the angel of the Lord came and sat under an oak that was in Ophrah, and which belonged to Joash the let's see,
A Bezerite?
as Bezerite, as the son of Gideon was beating out wheat in the winepress in order to save it from the Midianites. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him and said to him, "The Lord is with you, O valiant warrior." And Gideon said to him, "O my Lord, if the Lord is with us, why has all this happened to us? And where are all his miracles which our fathers told us about, saying, did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt? But now the Lord has abandoned us and given us in the hands of Midian."
So
And the Lord,
Gideon is basically just trying to save some stuff so it's not destroyed by the Midianites. And God's like, "You're doing a good job there keeping that wine away from the Midianites, right?"
It's
Or the
wheat.
Okay.
He's hiding the wheat with the wine.
Gotcha, okay. So you're doing a good job keeping that stuff away from the Midianites. How would you like to be a great warrior?
Wow. What an
So
offer.
this is just a story of a poor farm boy who becomes a judge of Israel.
Hopefully,
Yes.
no kryptonite chariots show up.
Oh, we'll see, maybe.
For all you anime fans, this is the first official shonen. This is the first official shonen. Here we go.
I don't get it.
all right. So, verse 14, and the Lord looked at him and said, Go, is this your strength? And deliver Israel from the hand of Midian. Have I not sent you? And he said to him, O Lord, how shall I deliver Israel? Behold, my family.
Behold!
Oh, behold, yes. Behold. behold, my family is the least of Manasseh. That's the half tribe of Manasseh, right?
That damn half tribe of Manasseh.
Doesn't say
Yeah.
half this time,
It doesn't.
does it?
It doesn't.
No,
I
it
mean,
doesn't
why?
say.
Why would a Gideon, someone who is from this tribe, be like, my tribe is inferior? Now he is saying that his tribe is inferior, but not as much as he could be saying his tribe is inferior.
He's saying that he's poor, and his family is poor.
It says my clan is the weakest. Oh, yeah, his family. His family is the weakest.
My family
in
is the
Manasseh.
least in Manasseh, and I am the youngest in my father's house. But the Lord said to him, surely I will be with you, and I shall defeat Midian as one man. So Gideon said to him, if now I have found favor in thy sight, then show me a sign, for thou who speakest with me. Please do not depart from here until I come back to thee and bring out my offering and lay it before thee. And he said, I will remain until you return.
Wow,
Then
that's
Gideon-
a
Wait.
big request to make of
An angel.
an angel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh no,
It's like, wait,
just
stay here.
stay here.
I'm gonna go get something.
Yeah.
I gotta go get something on there. Of course, what does he do? It says, so Gideon went in and prepared a kid and unleavened bread, and from the
Mine
And-
says a young goat.
an
Mine's like a
ephah,
kid.
which I
kid?
guess
A
is
kid is a
approximately
young
1
goat,
bushel
is it? Okay.
of flour. He put the meat in a basket and the broth in a pot, and brought them out to him under the oak and presented them. And the angel of God said to him, take the meat and the unleavened bread and lay them on this rock and pour out the broth. And he did so. And then then the angel of the Lord put out the end of the staff that was in his hand and touched the meat and unleavened bread, and fire sprang forth from the rock and consumed the meat and unleavened bread. For the angel of the Lord, and then the angel of the Lord vanished from his sight.
So
he
the
basically
angel
touched and then poof,
doesn't
and
eat.
burned it all up.
The
Maybe
angel
some food there.
eats by making it explode.
Yeah. So anyway, basically he said, hey, if you really are from God, stay here for a moment. I go out and get some stuff, brought it back, laid it on the rock, and the angel took the staff and touched it, and it caught on fire and burnt up. Okay, so verse 22. When Gideon saw he was an angel of the Lord, he said, alas, O Lord God, for now I have seen the angel of the Lord face to face. And the Lord said to him, peace to you, do not fear, you will not die. Then Gideon built an altar there to the Lord and named it the Lord is Peace. And to this day it is still in Ophrah of the Azarites. So, by the way, when they say to this day, it's like, do they mean to this day as in when it was written, or to this day forever, or what's
Forever.
Well, when to this day refers to from the time they think it was set up to whenever time this
We
was
are.
written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that while yes, angels apparently eat by lighting things on fire, that is how they sustain themselves. But also
28,000 calories.
Once Gideon realizes that he's talking to an angel of the Lord, it later changes from an angel of the Lord speaking to God himself speaking. So,
Yeah.
like in the middle
Yeah.
of this narrative, it goes from
Well, Lawrence, your mic died.
So has it.
Yep,
Lawrence's mic has died,
I got it.
so
Talk.
Chris
Oh.
is taking
Oh,
care of it.
Okay,
The angel of the Lord came in and smote his mic.
Alright, so
2 seconds, Lawrence. Your mic too,
Wow.
right? Yeah.
Is my mic okay?
Oh, you
Mic
don't
check,
have a
mic
mic
check.
that has batteries. Don't worry about it. Okay, you're good, buddy.
okay, so now I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
Wow. Okay.
I just had to change the batteries. Sorry.
All right.
Things die every other episode.
Okay. Anyways, Hello, now I am back with my voice.
It was only 2 seconds. You were
Okay.
out.
So, in the middle of this narrative, Gideon says, "Alas, O Lord God, for now I have seen the angel of the Lord face to face. But the Lord said to him, 'Peace be to you. Do not fear, you shall not die.'"
Yeah, because the angel left.
Is that how that worked? The angel just left? It didn't say the angel left.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did.
Where did it say the angel left?
Right before that.
Right before that, directly before that.
Yeah.
Then the angel of the
And
Lord
it said, and then the
departed out of
Lord
his
vanished
sight.
from his sight.
Yeah, he vanished from his sight. What does that mean to
It
you?
was the
okay.
angel of the Lord and said, "Alas, O Lord God, for now I have seen the angel of the Lord face to face."
I thought
And the
that.
Lord said to him,
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
"Peace
I
to you,
gotcha.
do
I
not
see that
fear,
now.
you will not die."
I thought we were talking about when it said vanished from his sight. I thought we were talking about the food.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway.
So
Brain fart.
verse 25. And now the same night it came about that the Lord said to him, "Take your father's bull and a second bull 7 years old, and pull down the altar of Baal, which belongs to your father, and cut down the Asherah."
Yeah, the Asherah. That's like a holy tree, like a holy pole.
Yeah,
Asherah.
mine says the grove.
And it's always
Oh.
said the grove whenever yours says Asherah, Lawrence. His
Asherah
says
that was
grove.
beside it. "And build an altar to the Lord your God on the top of the stronghold in an orderly manner, and take the second bull and offer a burnt offering with the wood of the Asherah which you shall cut down." And then Gideon took 10 men with his servants and did as the Lord spoke to him. And it came about because he too was afraid of his father's household and the men of the city and the men of the city to do it by day. So he did it by night. So essentially, he's going and desecrating this altar of Baal
Yes.
and cutting down a tree and building this altar to sacrifice this bull, but he decided to do it at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about this portion is that we can kind of tell that this was written before Leviticus, because do you think that this would be if people saw Leviticus as authoritative, all the parts where it's like clearly if you want to sacrifice something you got to bring it to the priesthood, right?
Right.
This wouldn't happen
No, it wouldn't.
because Gideon's not a priest.
Yeah.
So he can't sacrifice things because the only people that are allowed to sacrifice things are part of the priesthood.
Levi, the tribe of Levi, right? He's from the half tribe of Manasseh.
Yeah, he's from Manasseh, yeah.
Yeah.
But does it? I mean, I think also part of the thing is it's sort of, on the other hand, it's just saying, well, the Lord came to him. You know, they had the angel thing and they spoke, and so now he's like special. So he's able to come in and do this stuff. Well, he did it by night because he's afraid of the retribution. So when the men of the city, is verse 28, arose early in the morning, behold,
Behold!
Behold.
and of course we have to say behold in the chat as well. There we go. We've done our duty. The altar of Baal was torn down, and Asherah which was beside it was cut down, and the second bull was offered on the altar which had been built. And they said to one another, "Who did this thing?" And they searched about and inquired, and they said, "Gideon, the son of Joash, did this thing."
Wow, this is some major detective work though.
Yeah.
Shit.
Then the men of the city went to Joash, saying, "Bring out your son, that he may die, for he has torn down the altar of Baal, and indeed he has cut down the Asherah which was beside it." And Joash said to all those who stood against him, "Will you contend for Baal, or will you deliver him? Whoever will plead for him shall be put to death this morning." If he is a god, let him contend for himself, because someone has torn down his altar. Therefore, on that day, they named him Jerubbaal. That is to say, let Baal contend against him, because he has torn down his altar.
Yeah.
So
So-
the effective way of testing whether or not a god is real is by going up to their altar and destroying it.
And then seeing what the god does about it.
Hey guys, don't fuck with my altar.
So, you can just walk into your local church, destroy the cross behind the podium.
And see if God
and
reacts.
That's like,
If God reacts, then
Scientific
according
test.
to this logic, that's the test that you have to do.
yeah, and it's just interesting that this polemic against Baal and Asherah is kind of how it's how this is very clearly the beginning of the Yahweh alone movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the Midianites and the Amalekites and the sons of the east assembled themselves, and they crossed over and camped in the valley of Jezreel.
Jezreel.
And the Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon, and he blew in a trumpet. And as the Israelites were called together to follow him. And he sent messengers throughout Manasseh, and they also called together to follow him. And he sent messengers to Asher, Zebulun, Naphtali, and they came up to meet them. So he blew this trumpet, and all these people came to him.
Yeah.
And Gideon said to God, if thou wilt deliver Israel through me, as thou hast spoken, behold.
Behold!
And of course, chat room, do your thing.
Behold.
Get your
I
behold
will,
t-shirt.
I will
Teespring.
put a fleece of wool on the threshing floor. And he threw down this fleece only, and it was dry on the ground. Then I will know that thou wilt deliver Israel through me, as thou hast spoken. And it was so. When he arose early the next morning, and squeezed the fleece, he drained dew from the fleece, and it was full of water. Okay, so he threw this fleece down on the thing and said, okay, if you're God, then it'll wake up in the morning and it'll be full of water, because I guess dew wasn't invented by then or something.
Well, it says the dew will be on the fleece only.
Oh, on the fleece only. Okay.
Dry upon the earth beside it.
So I guess in terms of, if you ever seen like your car where it's dew on the metal of the car,
Yeah.
but not around the ground, it's like one of those sort of miracles,
Yeah.
right?
Lame.
No, amazing. Absolutely brilliant miracle.
That's
God.
I can't believe your super absorbent wool held onto the moisture. Holy cow. So
Yes.
magical.
So all the other moisture evaporated, but the wool retained it because it was wool. Okay.
Woo!
And then Gideon said to God, do not let thy anger burn against me, that I may speak once more. Please let me make a test once more with the fleece. Let it now be dry only on the fleece, and let there be dew on the ground.
Oh.
And the Lord did so that night. It was dry only on the fleece, and the dew was all around on the ground.
Okay, so
Ooh.
this is a way to test the power of God, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like according to the Bible, it says this is a way we can test God.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a pH strip, but for God.
Yeah, why don't we just do that? Oh, by the way, speaking of testing for things, if we get enough $6.66 donations, we will do a summoning.
A test.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. But you have like summoning stuff, right?
Yeah, I have books about black magic.
Okay, cool. We'll try to summon Lucifer or something.
Yeah, on
See what
camera.
happens. Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll
I
get
don't-
robes.
I don't care. I have robes.
I mean, the $6.66 donations would have to cover everything that we would need. So they might be, I don't know, we would have to raise like at least $100 for all the
So-
costumery and
I don't know,
stuff.
but I think we should get like
How's chapter 6 doing? We almost done with
Oh
that?
yeah, that's the end of chapter.
Oh,
6.
that's
It's
cool.
into chapter 6.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Gideon did this test again because I guess the other stuff wasn't good enough for him, and he had to test the Lord again.
I mean, that's they always say, like, you hear this from Christian apologists all the time. Like, God,
Thank you, DB Cisco.
yes, thank
Thank
you.
you, thank you, Didi.
Summons to Satan's court? Yes. So the nifty thing, what was I just saying? Oh, right. How apologists say that, I'm not going to put God on trial and have you be the judge.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like Gideon did that twice.
Right.
So
I mean, because he did
You have to be
the thing about
scientific.
the altar and the angel burning it up, and then now he did it with this whole fleece thing. So
yeah.
It's science.
Yeah.
The experimental method, right there in action.
there we go.
All right, so chapter 7. Let's get started.
Yes. Remember to drop a like on the video if you haven't.
Yeah.
Really helps us out.
And share us with everyone that you know.
Yes.
Everyone.
Every single person.
They don't, make it uncomfortable.
Make
Have
it
a discussion.
very uncomfortable.
Because people aren't used to being uncomfortable anymore. They got to go in their shells.
Chris, did you just message me on Facebook?
Yeah, I said good job.
Thanks.
Wow. Anyways, chapter 7. Then Jerubbaal.
I'm getting a Mountain Dew.
Can you grab me a Mountain Dew if there's
Fine.
another one?
Can you grab me a water?
It's fine.
Remember, Derbal means let Baal contend against him.
Yeah. Who is Gideon and all the people that were with him rose up early and pitched beside the well of Harod, so that the host of the Midianites were on the north side of them by the hill of Moreh in the valley. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands, lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, mine own hand have saved me. So now, therefore, go to proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from the Mount Gilead. And there returned of the people 22,000, and there remained 10,000.
So essentially, what
Thanks.
they're saying is, hey, don't have too many people to overcome your enemies, because then you think that you did it and rather than God did it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Which is bad strategy.
You want to do this
Uh,
job?
And the Lord said
switch
unto
out?
Gideon,
Just one switch?
the
come
people
on.
are yet too many. Bring them down unto the water, and I will try them for thee there. And it shall be that that of whom I say unto thee, this shall go with thee. The same shall go with thee. And of whomsoever I say unto thee, this shall not go with thee, the same shall not go. So he brought down the people to the water, and the Lord said unto Gideon, everyone that lappeth of the water with his tongue, as a dog lappeth, him shalt thou set by himself. Likewise, everyone that boweth down upon his knees to drink. And the number of them that lapped, putting their hand to their mouth, were 300 men. But all the rest of the people bowed down upon their knees to drink of water. And
So are they saying essentially that he's trying to separate the people who drink like a dog from the people that,
Don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
a
it's
cat?
weird.
Okay.
Oh yeah, didn't Josh say that last week about the dogs? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, now we know who let the dogs out.
And the Lord said unto Gideon, by the 300 men that lapped will I save you, and delivered the Midianites into thine hand. And let all the other people go every man unto his place. So the people took victuals in their hand and their trumpets, and he sent all the rest of Israel every man unto his tent, and retained those 300 men. And the host of Midian was beneath him in the valley. And it came to pass the same night, that the Lord said unto him, arise, get thee down unto the host, for I have delivered it unto thine hand. But if thou fear to go down, go thou with Phurah, thy servant, down to the host. And thou shalt hear what they say, and afterward shall thine hands be strengthened to go down unto the host. Then he went down with Phurah, his servant, unto the outside of the armed men that were in his host. And the Midianites and the Amalekites and all the children of the east lay among the valley like grasshoppers for multitude, and their camels were without number, and the sand by the sea, as the sand by the seaside, for multitude. And when Gideon was come, behold!
Behold!
Hold.
Behold.
There was a man that told a dream unto his fellow, and said, Behold!
Behold.
Behold, Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Oh, I just missed it. Behold! Totally zoned out. I was reading some comments.
Yeah, you were so zoned, it looked hilarious.
I dreamed a dream, and lo, a cake of barley bread tumbled into the host of Midian, and came unto a tent, and smote it that it fell, and overturned it, that the tent lay along. And his fellow answered and said, This is nothing else save the sword of Gideon for the son of Joash, a man of Israel. For into his hand hath God delivered Midian and all his host. And it was so, when Gideon heard the telling of the dream and the interpretation thereof, that he worshipped, and returned unto the host of Israel, and said, Arise, for the Lord hath delivered it into the hand of the host of Midian. So this guy telling his dream about literally some bread that tumbles down and smashes a tent.
Yeah. Destruction!
True
And
story, bro.
That is what convinces him that, yes, now is the time to go to war.
And that's this whole image here in the back that we're getting into. This is like the lead up to that.
Yep, our background image.
Yeah.
And he divided the 300 men into 3 companies. And he put a trumpet in every man's hand with empty pitchers, and lamps within the pitchers. And he said unto them, Look on me, and do likewise, and behold!
Behold!
Behold.
Behold.
When I come to the outside of the camp, it shall be that, as I do, so shall ye do. When I blow with a trumpet, I, and all that are with me, then blow ye the trumpets also on every side of all the camp, and say, The sword of the Lord and of Gideon. So Gideon and the 100 men that were with him came unto the outside of the camp in the beginnings of the middle watch, as they had but newly set the watch, and they blew the trumpets and brake the pitchers that were in their hand, and the 3 companies blew the trumpets and brake the pitchers, and held the lamps in their left hand and the trumpets in their right hand to blow withal.
Is this a song as well?
No. They're just being really loud right now.
Jeez.
And
Breaking
they-
shit and blowing trumpets.
And they cried, the sword of the Lord and of Gideon. And they stood, every man in his place, round about the camp, and all the host ran and cried and fled.
Maybe it's just a strategy.
Yeah. They scared him off using a sound attack again.
Yeah.
Just like what happened to Jericho.
Why didn't they just do that again?
You know, it's really
Kind of a good
this is really
strategy.
interesting. I'm
Well,
kind
they-
of wondering, like, what was was there some sort of motif in the ancient world about sounds being destructive? I'm trying to, because there might be. I'm gonna have to look
Maybe.
into that.
I'm assuming that it's just that normally when you amass an army,
It's really loud, sure.
not everyone has a trumpet.
Sure, but in this case they did.
In this case, they did, which gave them the illusion of having a much more formidable force.
Sure.
Because, you know,
No, I mean, we've seen the motif of let's be really loud and that's going to help us.
right.
Or that's just going to win us the battle, actually.
Well, because it's it's not like an attack that uses matter, right? So it's a more celestial.
it does use matter.
But they didn't know that.
They didn't know
I
that.
know.
That's wind, the mystical cosmic force. Come on.
It's the.
Couldn't God have to like blown a big wind and made thunder and so forth?
He
But
could have snapped
no,
his
they-
fingers, but
Or blink twice. Just blink twice for no or yes, God. Come on.
Say, this universe sucks. I'm starting over.
yeah, that would be. It would be that simple.
Yeah.
I don't know.
really
He had
would.
to sleep for a while after those 7 days.
Okay, so they ran and cried and fled. And the 300 blew the trumpets, and the Lord set every man's sword against his fellow, even throughout all the host, and the host fled to Bethshittah in Zererath, and to the border of Abel-Meholah unto Tabath. And the men of Israel gathered themselves together out of Naphtali, and out of Asher, and out of Manasseh, and pursued after the Midianites. And Gideon sent messengers throughout all Mount Ephraim, saying, Come down against the Midianites, and take before them the waters unto Bethbara and Jordan. Then all the men of Ephraim gathered themselves together, and took the waters unto Bethbara and Jordan. And they took 2 princes of the Midianites, Oreb and Zeb, and they slew Oreb up on the rock Oreb, and Zeb they slew it at the winepress of Zeb, and pursued Midian, and brought the heads of Oreb and Zeb to Gideon on the other side Jordan. And that's the end of chapter 7. They played a really loud sound. I'm guessing that everybody's eardrums got
Ruptured.
destroyed.
Everybody was fleeing.
They were
And then they
freaking
caught
out.
some
They started
kings.
killing each other, and they ran away. And then the rest of the tribes in the area basically picked them off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
got some kings, killed them, right? Those kings, right? 2 princes, sorry.
Princes. They beheaded them.
Oh, wow.
I don't.
Yes.
Did they
They
behead them?
brought the heads of Oreb
Yeah.
and Zeb
Oh yeah.
to Gideon.
Yeah.
They had to behead him then.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a bit much. Anyways.
You gotta wonder what these specific ones did.
They looked at them the wrong
gotta
way
wonder.
with their heads.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like-
gotta be it.
Oh, I don't like these two.
Yeah,
And that guy's head looks
these-
like it shouldn't be there.
It's these 2
Yes.
specific ones, and okay, so they're the 2 princes of Midian. So I guess they were just non-discriminate about it. But when it says Oreb at the rock of Oreb and Zeb at the wine press of Zeb, were these like places that the general populace would have known about?
Good question.
One would presume.
Yeah.
You would think so.
So
At the time of writing, at least.
sure, yeah. All right. Well, let's get into
Wait.
chapter.
Like if
For
I say
liking
the
it,
Washington Monument.
You know, share, sub,
Yeah.
whatever.
Like, share, whatever. Do
You know, you
your
do
thing.
all the things. You know how to do them.
Lawrence, start reading.
Okay, I'm gonna start reading.
Chapter 8.
Then the men of Ephraim said to him, "What is this that you have done to us, not to call us when you went to fight against Midian?" And they accused him fiercely. And he said to them, "What have I done now in comparison with you? Is not the gleaning of the grapes of Ephraim better than a grape harvest of Abiezer? God has given into your hands the princes of Midian, Oreb and Zeb. What have I been able to do in comparison with you?" Then their anger against him subsided when he said this.
Okay.
So I don't get this. He's basically saying, "Hey, we only killed 2 dudes," or is that what?
No, he's like, hey, you guys are useless, basically. And then they stopped being angry at him for whatever reason.
I think it's because he's like, hey, you know, you have grapes from this area, but now you also have grapes from this area. Don't worry about it.
But it's it is just kind of interesting. Like, what have you done to us? I'm not quite sure why it starts out
Yeah,
like that. Maybe
well,
because he made them kill or something.
No, he stole the opportunity from them to go to battle.
Right. I guess.
They're
Maybe
mad.
they could have had that land.
So
They're
all
mad specifically because he went to fight without them.
So all the men of Ephraim were called out, and they captured the waters as far as Bethbara and also the Jordan. And they captured the 2 princes of Midian. And they killed the princes of Midian. So it seems like they were doing some battle.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about the people that he didn't bring with.
Yeah,
He only brought 300 people with him.
Oh, okay.
The guys that lick water.
All right, fine.
Water lickers.
And Gideon came to the Jordan and crossed over, he and the 300 men who were with him, exhausted, yet pursuing. So he said to the men of Succoth, please give loaves of bread to the people who follow me, for they are exhausted, and I am pursuing after Zebah and Zalmunna, the kings of Midian. And the officials of Succoth said, are the hands of Zebah and Zalmunna already in your hand, that we should give bread to your army? So they want to bet on the winning team. So Gideon said, well then, when the Lord has given Zebah and Zalmunna into my hand, I will flail your flesh with the thorns of the wilderness and with briars. Holy shit. Dude, Gideon's not a nice guy.
This guy is a real warlord.
Dude, Gideon's awful, man.
That is intense.
Because these guys are being innocent and they just want to bet on the winning team. And he's like, huh, you shouldn't have said that, motherfucker.
Now you're fucked.
Ridiculous. Oh, I got water all over this.
You fool.
Yeah. And from there he went to Penuel and spoke to them in the same way, and the men of Penuel answered him as the men of Succoth had answered. And he said to the men of Penuel, when I come again in peace, I will break down this tower. What? You're not coming again in peace.
No, you're coming with the
So Lawrence,
intention.
next time I come
tower
to your
breaking.
house in peace, I'm going to leave it in pieces.
Next time, Ruben, next time I go over to your house in peace, I'm going to destroy it.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's not peaceful.
Yeah, it's not.
Peacefully destroy it.
Yeah, peacefully take down the tower. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you pissed me off.
Diplomatically. And now Zebah and Zalmunna were in Karkor with their army, about 15,000 men, all who were left of all the army of the people of the east, for there had fallen 120,000 men who drew the sword. Wow. And Gideon went up by the way of the tent dwellers east of Nobah and Jogbehah, and attacked the army, for the army felt secure. And Zebah and Zalmunna fled, and he pursued them and captured the 2 kings of Midian, Zebah and Zalmunna, and he threw all the army into a panic. Him and his 300 men are a lot better than these 15,000.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like.
Yep.
Yep.
It sounds like the original 300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Gideon, the son of Joash, returned from the battle by the ascent of Heres?
Heres?
Heres, I don't know. And he captured a young man of Succoth and questioned him. So he interrogated him. And he wrote down from him the officials and elders of Succoth, 77 men. And he came to the men of Succoth and said, Behold!
Behold!
Zebah and Zalmunna, about who you taunted me, saying, are the hands of Zebah and Zalmunna already in your hand, that we should give bread to your men who are exhausted? And he took the elders of the city, and he took thorns of the wilderness and briars, and with them taught the men of Succoth a lesson. And he broke down the tower of Penuel and killed the men of the city. So,
Did you learn your lesson by dying?
this guy, this fucking guy. He went through with it. He gave his word.
Yep.
So
he
what
kept his
about
promise.
the commandment to not kill?
That's negotiable.
Okay.
Well, that only applies to people in the tribe.
but aren't they? Aren't they children of Israel?
Although they I don't think these guys are.
No, the
these are
Midianites
yeah.
aren't.
Oh, okay.
But
All right.
no, there were parts when when they did kill people in the tribe. Remember
Right.
after the golden calf story?
Right.
Well, those were all fakes.
Those are all fakes. Yeah, because right after the golden calf story.
Well, they established that they weren't part of the tribe when they broke the rules of the tribe.
We
well,
done
that's
with the
how that
chapter
works.
already?
Okay.
No.
Then, so he killed the people in these towns. Then he said to Zebah and Zalmunna, "Where are the men whom you killed at Tabor?" They're dead, probably. They answered, "As you are, so were they. Every one of them resembled the son of a king." And he said, "They were my brothers, the sons of my mother. As the Lord lives, if you had saved them alive, I would not kill you." So he said to Jether, his firstborn, "Rise and kill them."
Yeah.
The young man did not draw his sword, for he was afraid, because he was still a young man. Then Zebah and Zalmunna said, "Rise yourself and fall upon us, for as the man is, so is his strength." And Gideon arose and killed Zebah and Zalmunna, and he took the crescent ornaments that were on the necks of their camels. Wait, so hold on.
What?
So Gideon told someone to kill them,
Yeah.
but then the guy didn't.
Because he was young
Yeah.
and afraid.
And then
He did it.
the kings told him to go through with it? Is that what I got from that? Then Zebah and Zalmunna said, "Rise yourself and fall upon us."
they insist that he do it personally.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, then he killed him. That's all right. Then the men of Israel said to Gideon, "Rule over us, you and your son and your grandson also, for you have saved us from the hand of Midian." Gideon said to them, "I will not rule over you, and my son will not rule over you. The Lord will rule over you." And Gideon said to them, Let me make a request of you. Every one of you give me the earrings from his spoil, for they had golden earrings because they were Ishmaelites.
Ishmael.
That's Chris over there. He's Ishmael.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
We haven't heard from the Ishmaelites for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were Ishmaelites. All right.
But they were, apparently they had gold earrings.
Yep, they wear golden earrings.
And they answered, "We will willingly give them." And they spread a cloak, and every man threw in it the earrings of his spoil, and the weight of the golden earrings that he requested was 1,700 shekels of gold, beside the crescent ornaments and the pendants and the purple garments worn by the kings of Midian, and besides the collars that were around the necks of their camels. And
How much is a shekel?
I got about
shekel?
11 grams.
Of gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Gideon made an ephod of it and put it in his city in Ophrah. And all Israel whored after it there, and it became a snare to Gideon and to his family. So Midian was subdued before the people of Israel, and they raised their heads no more. And the land had rest for 40 years in the days of Gideon. So this is kind of weird because it seems to come out of nowhere. So Midian was already destroyed, right? Because
Yeah.
Well, apparently not, because he has to go in and kill the kings and.
Well, no. I mean, so after he killed all the kings and stuff.
After he kills the kings, he takes their camels' ornaments.
Yeah, he takes
as
like
a trophy.
the gold, and then he gets some
it
more gold.
Causes, well, the ornaments become such a big tourist attraction that it's just bad for him, right? That's what I'm getting
That's
at.
what it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it looks like. The people hoard after it. But
Or
then,
that
but
people
then it
try to
says,
steal it very often.
but then it says, so Midian was subdued before the people of Israel, and they raised their heads no more. But that's kind of out of place, isn't it?
Maybe they're saying like individuals who were Midianitish and were still living there, like
Yeah.
as slaves or
Sure.
something.
Sure. All right.
So it
Jeroboam.
looks like 18.7 kilos, or about 41, little over 41 pounds of gold is what they piled up.
Wow.
Well, that's a decent amount of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jerubbaal, the son of Joash, that's Gideon, went and lived in his own house. Now Gideon had 70 sons, 70 sons, his own offspring.
Yay.
Yep.
That's a lot of sons. He had 70
Yeah.
sons.
As you do.
As you do.
When you're a
For he had many wives.
monster.
Many wives.
And his concubine, who was in Shechem, also bore him a son, and he called his name Abimelech. We've ran into an Abimelech before, right?
We
Yeah.
have run into an
Is
Abimelech.
this different?
I don't know. Is it the same Abimelech?
Who
Or?
knows?
I don't think it's the same one in the narrative.
I don't think it's the same one.
I don't think it's the same one, but it might be the same one because we really don't. Well, no, it wouldn't be the same one. Abimelech was the name of the guy that Abraham lied to. He said that Sarah was not his wife.
That's
the
right.
First time.
That guy's
Yeah.
super dead.
Yeah.
Well, of course he's super dead, but okay. Maybe it's meant to be. Maybe in Genesis he was meant to be interpreted as this one. I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
because this is definitely after the tribes of Israel have been
Established himself.
Sure,
established.
sure.
This is just a guy named after Abimelech.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe it's spelled different anyways.
It's not.
Oh, okay.
Abimelech and Gideon, the son of Joash, died in a good old age and was buried in the tomb of Joash's father at Ophrah of the Abizrites.
Good old age.
As soon as Gideon died, the people of Israel turned again and whored after the Baals and made Barak their god.
They
Because
hoard after the
Again?
balls.
the horde after the Baals. I know that's funny, but
Again?
yeah, because Baal is just a title.
No.
And the people of Israel did not remember the Lord their God again, who delivered
dumb.
them from the hand of their enemies on every side, and they did not show steadfast love to the family of Jerubbaal, that is Gideon, in return for all the good that he had done to Israel.
Wow. And that's
Wow.
all we're reading today.
Yes,
Ungrateful.
yes, that was a decent amount of chapters.
It's interesting that the we had a bunch of chapters where they said, oh, they start with saying, oh, and they forgot God and worship Baal. It's interesting at the beginning of the chapter and then talked about what happened. This one at the end of the chapter they say, and then they forgot God.
Yeah, I was going to point that out exactly.
Yeah, that's weird. That's new.
Yeah, it is. Well, I think that's it for our broadcast today.
Yeah,
It
but-
went on for quite a while.
Yeah, but I am going to pull up something here quick.
Can
You should consider becoming a patron. Of
That
course.
is exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, but we got we got good rewards. So $1 patrons, this is all per month. $1 patrons get access to behind-the-scenes footage, and they get access to all Milwaukee Atheist video scripts.
Yep.
So that's tomes of information for you.
So much
Yeah.
info.
Yeah, $5 a month or more. Previous rewards, and you get a copy of all books a member of Milwaukee Atheist publishes.
They
Ten-
publish books, folks,
Oh.
and they're worth reading. I recommend them. See,
Thank you.
Here is one of them, right? See,
Yes.
See?
Yes.
see, this is one of them you can get.
That is the one that you will get now because it's already out.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
then, I'm thinking maybe a forged fiction book.
Oh, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
I mean, you're almost done with the series.
I am almost done with the series, so I could just do like an expanded version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically just,
Use a lot of the stuff I already said, yeah. So, oh, and also I think, Landon, you should know this. We do have another $10 or more patron.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yay.
So if at $10 or more a month, you get the previous rewards. Your name goes on the credit roll of all the videos you helped sponsor that month, and you get entrance into a monthly T-shirt giveaway. and you did not win this time, Landon. Nice
Yay!
try.
Someone else
Whoa.
did. Congratulations.
Yeah. Nice try, Landon.
Who was our lucky winner?
I think his name is Jacob.
Jacob?
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Wow,
Jacob.
congratulations,
Just come on
Jacob.
down and pick up your
Congratulations,
shirt.
and thanks, Jacob. I was, yeah, it was one of the things where being the only one in the drawing by miracle of probability, it was winning
Oh,
them.
man.
But now it's a contest. So thank you, Jacob.
Yes. A true competition.
Excellent.
Skill-based.
Yeah. Then $20 or more a month, previous awards. You get a weekly hangout with the team to discuss video ideas and other topics, and free tickets to any future events we hold. Lodging and transportation not included.
Oh, you should let me say that.
No.
Lodging and transportation not included.
Okay, fine.
Thanks.
You
See,
said
I
it
said it
anyways.
way better.
Said it anyways.
Yeah.
And then the $50 or more slot, there are 3 of those available. You get the previous awards, and you get a special shout out in a video you helped sponsor that month. Plus, you get to join us as a guest on one of the Atheist Sunday School streams you helped sponsor that month.
And for residents of the United States of America, for $10,000 a
this.
month, we will personally give you a high five at some point.
Yeah, that one.
Within like 3 years.
Either
we'll
like
do it. We'll
either
go
like
do it.
one of us of your choice per month, or if you donate $30,000 to us.
Yeah, we'll just
then
go
we'll
get
just-
you a high five.
We'll give
make
you a high
sure
five.
you get one from all 3 of us. And, you know,
And you can trade them out. So if you don't like Chris, we
you
could
could
just
get
give you
2
another
high
five.
fives from somebody else.
Yeah,
Or if
yeah.
you
Yeah.
hate these guys, you could get 3 high fives from me.
Yeah, but
You don't even
Dylan's gonna
see
do
me.
that,
You have
let's
no
be
idea
honest.
how cool that would be.
You know, what's interesting actually? So yesterday, there was an event with Seth Andrews, the Thinking Atheist, here in town. So I went to that. It was like 2 hours, and then after his little talk, the people were just mingling. And actually, some people came up to me and said they recognized me from this show.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's nice, isn't it?
Wow, congratulations.
well,
Yeah,
I hope people don't recognize me from this show.
they might.
Oh no, what am I gonna do? I'll have to wear my hair down. That's something I usually don't do on this show.
But
Yeah,
it was
that's
just
true.
it was just weird getting recognized
All right.
by people I've never met before. So
I get recognized by like people I went to like middle school with. And
okay,
I don't recognize them, so
Yeah.
like really, it's like being recognized by people
it's
I've never
it's
met
like
before.
that. But it was nice. Happened like 3 times. So
Wow.
it was cool. So that was my little story. But when one guy actually asked who the hell that guy was behind the scenes, and I was like, that's Chris. He's a piece of shit.
Oh, I'm the greatest.
Yeah.
What are you getting on
The
about?
greatest piece of shit.
You wouldn't have the show if it weren't for the show.
Speaking of the show, that's all for this time. I'm taking. this
Oh,
mic
you're
off.
taking. Oh, you want to do that? Hold on. Let me transition.
we
and
gotta
we'll
do
see you
the
next
thing.
Sunday.
We got to do the thing.
Say
see
it.
ya
See you
next Sunday.
Oh, there we go. Bye. Landon's waving goodbye. We'll stop.